G'day scientists! Today I'm going to be reviewing two solar toys from Amazon. Could these be the best electronics kits for beginners? I have Shocking Electricity from Curious Universe and Cyzam DIY Solar Car Kit. There are links to check them out on Amazon in the description. As usual, I'm going to be rating them on fun, price and what you learn while you're playing them. Then I'll let you know whether I think you should buy them. Okay, first up I've got STEM Electronics Kits DIY Solar Car Kits from Cyzam. I'm not entirely sure I'm saying that right, and I googled it but I'm still not sure. Is it Cyzam, Cycam, Cyzam, Cyzam? I don't know. If you can help me, please let me know in the comments. Anyway, I got this kit from Amazon and it cost me $13.88. Inside it's pretty basic, but I don't mind that. Here are the instructions to build the first robot. Wait, didn't it say solar car on the front? Wait, there's another instruction kit. This one is for a car. So it looks like you get one kit for a robot, one kit for a car, all inside the same box. Hopefully this isn't a mistake, and if you order it up too, you'll get two kits too. Two kits too! Right, let's get started with Robot 1, which I'm guessing is the bag without the wheels in it. We've got these two lollipop sticks inside and what looks like a motor. It's pretty solid construction. Then there are two metal pins which probably connect to the motor in some way, I'm guessing. Then we've got a selection of sticky pads. You know what I love about sticky pads? Normally it means the kit is going to be super easy. Then there's a big adhesive blue foam thingy too, and two more pieces of foam that are a bit more than a semicircle. Then more foam in a kind of 8 shape with a joining part in between. Now a battery holder and some wire. I can see already this is good. The wires have been pre-cut, so we don't need to worry about getting wire snips or strippers for this kit. Then there's a switch, which is quite satisfyingly switchy. And finally, really hard to recover, googly eyes. Wait, not finally. I found two small red tubes of plastic that are sealed at one end. Alright, let's start with instructions. We're starting with the big motor piece and attaching those two pieces of metal rod. It looks like these will turn when the motor switches on. Then onto the end of these metal rods, I'm adding the two bits of red tubing that are sealed on one end. This piece of blue foam is next. It looks like I need to pop out the centerpiece of this so that I can stick it to the bottom of the motor, which had this protruding yellow piece on the end. The paper's a bit of a pain to get off in one go, but they're done and stuck on. Not quite in the center, I'm sorry perfectionists. Next, we've got those two almost semicircle foam pieces getting shoved onto the end of the red plastic tubes. They fit snugly, but you can still move them around, which is good in case we need to make any adjustments later. There we go, starting to look a bit more like a robot, and now it stands up too. Now it's time to add the battery pack. I strip the bits of wire off the end and twist the positive wire from the battery pack onto the switch like this. Then I take this extra piece of wire, strip the ends off and twist one side onto the empty terminal on the switch. This switch is going to start and stop the power being delivered from the battery to the motor. Next, I'm taking an adhesive strip and adding it to the back of the robot. How do I know which side is the back? I don't. I've taken a guess, and this might mean that my robot will be travelling backwards when we do switch it on. Right, that strip is to attach the battery pack, so I just firmly press the pack onto the sticky pad with the wires facing up the way. Now I'm sticking the switch to the front of the robot using another sticky pad. This time I don't think it really matters which way up you put it. There we go, switch attached and switching like a switch. Now I attach the wire coming from the switch to one of the motor terminals. This step might also make my robot go backwards. It would help if there was some labelling so we knew which way is the front and which terminal is which. Anyway, this is easily fixed later. Now I'm taking the remaining wire from the battery pack and twisting it onto the other terminal on the motor. What I'm loving about this kit is that although it is a little fiddly and the wires are super thin, it's not involving any soldering or complicated steps. I'm attaching this odd shaped piece of foam now, and I can see what it's for. It's to mount the googly eyes onto to give our robot a pair of eyes. When the eyes are attached to the foam, I use another piece of mounting tape to attach the eyes above the switch and give the robot some vision. Finally, I'm taking the 2 lollipop sticks, which are now obviously feet, and attach them to the bottom of the robot to give it something to walk on. Again, I'm using those foam mounting strips to do this. There we go, it's done. Now to add some batteries and see if it works. It takes 2 AA batteries that go in the back. It's a little fiddly adding them in as it's a tiny bit flimsy with all that tape holding it together. There we go, and it's moving already, but backwards. I knew it would do this. The switch works, so let's watch again. Yep, moving backwards and a little bit wonky too, but it's actually quite funny. Right, let's fix the direction of travel. And if you have the same problem, it's actually quite easy to fix. You just need to swap the wires that are attaching to the motor so that the negative is now the positive and vice versa. It's fiddly because I twisted those wires super tight and the wires are super thin. But it's done now. Time to see if it travels forwards. Let's switch it on. Yes, it does. One complete robot. That was actually good fun. Now I'm looking forward to building that solar car. Right, the solar car has similar instructions, which are actually really clear to follow. In the bag, we've got a green piece of plastic and a yellow piece of plastic and a ridiculously tiny screwdriver. But at least it has a screwdriver inside and I don't need to provide my own. There's some pieces of metal which again look like they will be the axles for the wheels, some yellow stoppers, some sticky foam pads, cogwheels, a motor and the battery pack here, which looks like it has some kind of switch mechanism built inside it. Wait up, wasn't this supposed to be a solar car? Yeah, and there are 2 solar panels here too. This is weird. What is it, solar or battery? I doubt it could be both with such a cheap kit, and there's no solar charging circuitry in here to safely charge the batteries from solar. I'm starting to get a bit suspicious. Now we got wheels. Good, this is definitely a car this time. More sticky pads, some cable ties. This looks like a terminal connector. It's used for joining together 2 bits of wires simply. This is another good sign that the kit doesn't require any soldering, just lots of twisting. Twisting cables together is a great way to start learning about simple circuits. It's how I started out before moving on to soldering, and it's much cheaper than the kits that use bespoke clipping together technology. Now we've got some screws and metal pieces that look like they attach to the plastic and hold together the wheels and stuff. This looks quite a sturdy construction. Then the final cog, which is a bigger one. Okay, first step is to screw these metal angle parts onto the plastic base using this little bit of screwdriver. They go in nice and easy. Then I push really firmly the big cog onto one of the metal rods and attach it through the metal piece, making the cog stick up through the plastic base. Then on the other side, another metal piece slips on and I'm screwing it onto the base to hold it all together. So far, it's a little bit more complicated than the robot, but still quite easy. Next, I'm adding the small cog onto the motor. It's very tough to attach and it goes onto the base here, and when it turns it will spin this big cog and turn the wheels. It doesn't look like it's making a great connection though, but it might be enough when it's all put together. To attach the motor to the base, we're using one of the cable ties. This part is a bit fiddly and honestly doesn't feel very secure, and we want a tight connection between those cogs. It will be interesting to see what happens. The solar panels are going on next. I'm taking this plastic rod and the larger metal pieces to make arms to hold the solar panels up. These all screw together with the tiny screws and a little bit of screwdriver. It's quite fiddly because it's all so tiny. The arms screw onto the base and stick up into the air at an angle. The other axle is getting attached now. It's very similar to the front, but a bit easier as it doesn't have any cogs on. This solar car is a 2-wheel drive vehicle. Now time to attach the wheels. They push on, a little stiff, but with some adult supervision, I reckon a young scientist will be fine. There, done. Looking a bit like a car now. There's still a really big gap between those cogs though. This giant yellow piece of plastic now attaches to the front with a cable tie and sticks up into the air. It's decorative and is going to be used to stick the eyes onto. Wait, a car with eyes? Is this a robot or a car? I am totally confused now. The eyes mount is screwed onto the eye stalk and then the eyes are attached with some sticky tape to the eye branches. I think I made some of that body terminology up there. Now for the electronics, we have to strip those wires, which is a real pain, and I'll tell you why. They are so thin. I don't have wire strippers small enough to be able to strip these wires, so it's taking me multiple attempts to strip them very carefully. This is awful for young scientists. It requires a lot of very careful pressure being applied to the strippers, and it's probably a tool you're not going to have around. I've wasted some length of the wire by being too heavy-handed. If you waste too much, the whole kit would be ruined. Oh no, I also have to strip the ends of the solar panels too. It's so fiddly. I've done it, but wasted a lot of wire again. I just hope there's enough left to be able to put it together. First up, I'm twisting together the positive wires of the solar panels and the battery pack. I can already tell this is a really bad idea. It's actually quite dangerous. If we have batteries in here at the same time as the solar panels being in sunlight, the solar panels will attempt to charge the battery. If you haven't put rechargeable batteries in here, there's a real chance that those batteries are going to heat up and cause damage. Also, those wires are so tiny, I'm not sure that they won't heat up either. Anyway, I'll continue putting it together to show you what it looks like. The twisted wires from both the positive and negative sides are added to the terminal connector. Next, I'm twisting a piece of positive red wire to the motor, and the same with the black negative one to the other side of the motor. Then these two wires click into the other side of the terminal connector, matching up black to black and red to red. The circuit's complete. Now we just got to add it to the car itself. The solar panels stick to the solar panel mounts with some sticky foam like this, and the connector and battery pack sits on the back of the car like this. As I thought, I don't quite have enough wire left to put them in the places they're supposed to be, so I'm just going to wedge them in where there's space. Take the protective film off the solar panels, and now I'm going to add some batteries in and test it out. This is not good. I was right, the cogs are not meeting. I'm going to twist and bend the base to try and get it to move, but you shouldn't have to do this. It's even worse. By not putting the batteries in the right place, there's not enough weight on the back of the car to get the wheels to move the car. I've placed my wire strippers on the top of the car to weigh it down a bit. It moves a little, but honestly this is a total disaster. I hacked it up some more and just wedged the batteries in the back. Now it's got enough weight to move by itself, but really not great. Outside, with the batteries disconnected for safety but still attached for weight, it actually doesn't work too badly. What a mixed bag this kit is. The robot was fun to make, very simple, and even without any educational material included, it's teaching you how things work. Connecting the wires together, fixing problems, the simple mechanics, it's really quite good. The solar battery powered car though, big issue combining solar power and batteries together without safety circuits. Relying on a young scientist to remember to disconnect the battery when using it in the sunshine, not good. Stripping those tiny wires is too hard for an entry-level kit. They need to be pre-stripped or bigger, or include the right tool for stripping them. Then, the worst part, it just doesn't work well anyway. The base is flimsy and the cogs on the motor are just not making a strong enough connection. I am going to give the Cyzam DIY solar car kit 1 star for fun, 1 star for price, and 2 stars for learning. Buy or bye-bye? It's a bye-bye. Cyzam, if this kit had worked and it wasn't dangerous, it would have been a buy. Okay, next kit. I've got the shocking electricity kit from Curious Universe. This one cost me $16.99 from Aldi during their recent Science Toy special buy. Inside, it's got a whole pile of experiments and activities, and this book which has lots of stuff to learn. And oh my giddy aunt, you will not believe this, instructions are integrated into the book. If you've seen some of my other videos, you will know how much this annoys me. So many kits do not have the instructions built into the main book. They're just like an afterthought, usually a flimsy little leaflet they've chucked in. Right, let's open this up and try and build the solar power car. Inside, all the bits we need to build: a familiar looking green plastic base, screws, wheels and cogs. I thought the last screwdriver was ittle bittle, but this one is even smaller. I'm not joking, it's like the size of my thumb. Tiny. Okay, first step is to screw onto the board the metal parts that are going to hold the axle in place. I can already feel this is a better quality kit. The green plastic board is less flexible and quite a bit sturdier, and the screws, rather than just thread into the plastic board, they have little nuts to hold them in place. The little nuts are a bit fiddly, but they work quite well with a little bit of screwdriver. Each wheel bracket connects using 2 of these nuts and bolts, so they're super secure. While I'm fiddling with this Lilliputian sized screwdriver, if you found this video useful, please hit the like button. Want to save money and know which science toys are worth buying? Then please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I next drop a video. If you do subscribe, pop in a comment below to say I subscribed and I'll say hello. On the back axle on one side has a stopper, the other the large cogwheel, which the motor will drive to make the car move. Once they're in place, we add all 4 wheels like this. Now it's really starting to look like a car. And look, Cyzam, no eyes. Now it's time to add the motor. It attached with this metal bracket, and the cog that is on the end of the motor meets neatly with the larger cog we attached to one of the rear wheels earlier on. Now the motor is secured with the bracket, I can see that we're not going to have the same problem as the other kit. I reckon this one should work fine. Finally, I stick the solar panel onto the top of the car and remove the protective film. There's no batteries with this one, so we need to be outside to test it. I'm going to get outside in the bright sunshine to test it now. It works great, gets a little bit stuck every now and then, but pretty good. This one worked well. The kit was solid, the instructions are integrated into the book, there's plenty of activities and experiments to try out. I think you could easily spend a whole weekend or 2 playing with this kit. I am going to give Shocking Electricity 3 stars for fun, 3 stars for price, and 3 stars for learning. Buy or bye-bye? It's a buy. Good quality kit, lots of playtime, and actually teaches you stuff while you're playing. Really good. A total mix this week. Some near misses and some danger thrown in too. I've got something else to share with you that might keep you interested. Here's another video I made. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out.